Hello and welcome! My name's Heather. I'm a registered professional counselor. In this video, I'm going to be analyzing the movie The Breakup. I'm going to be talking about the presenting issues that led to the breakup, how the breakup could have been avoided, and also the aftermath of the breakup. Before I get started, make sure to subscribe to get more videos like this and to support this channel. Gary, played by Vince Vaughn, and Brooke, played by Jennifer Aniston, meet at a baseball game and begin dating. We see Gary's fun yet persuasive personality as he buys Brooke a hot dog and convinces Brooke to go on a date with him.
And where are we headed to? Let's not make this weird because I'm not good on dates.
No.
We learn that Gary is a tour guide in his family business and Brooke manages an art gallery. The movie is set around the couple breaking up and then using petty tactics as they try to make the other person jealous in hopes that they'll see the error of their ways so that they can cave in and get back together. Leading to their breakup, Brooke is seen cooking dinner as Gary comes home from work. It is clear that Gary's lack of attention to detail and his inconsideration towards Brooke's effort is a source of their conflict for them. And Gary's once charming ability to sweet talk and persuade Brooke is now wearing thin as it comes across as complaining and challenging her requests.
So no one's actually even eating them? They're show lemons?
He could have easily apologized and acknowledged his mistake, but instead he argues with her about why she needs 12 lemons. Gary's humor can be used as a way to distract Brooke from having to take any responsibility.
Scratch the centerpiece idea altogether because the chicken that burnt my mouth could maybe use a little bit of lemon.
We see that Brooke is dissatisfied with Gary as he is watching TV instead of getting ready for their dinner or even offering to help. His excuse is that he's had a tough day at work.
I worked all day, went to the market, I cleaned this entire condo, and then I've been cooking for the last 3 hours.
This is a common scenario and often leads to relationship dissatisfaction in heterosexual couples. Gender roles are socially and culturally constructed norms of gender-appropriate behavior. The traditional conception of the household division of labor defines women as primarily responsible for raising the children and running the household, while men assume the role of financial provider for the family. However, more women entering the workforce and also financially providing for the family has led to changing attitudes about work and family, thus blurring traditional gender roles. She asks Gary to help set the table and she's met with more arguments as to why she should finish. So far, we see a pattern of dismissive behavior from Gary towards Brooke's requests and needs.
Don't you want to finish it yourself and have that personal power, that accomplishment?
Set the table.
If this behavior has persisted for a long time, it can lead to feelings of dissatisfaction and resentment on Brooke's part. After everyone leaves, Gary heads straight for the couch to play a video game, leaving Brooke to feel unsupported yet again. Her request to have him help her with the dishes is met with excuses and defensiveness.
If I could just sit here, let my food digest, and just try to enjoy the quiet.
And Gary's request to rest gets ignored as Brooke's feelings of resentment and frustration reaches a tipping point.
I busted my ass all day cleaning this house and then cooking that meal, and I worked today. It would be nice if you said thank you and helped me with the dishes.
This would have been a good opportunity for Gary to acknowledge Brooke's efforts and to genuinely thank her for the meal and for organizing the dinner. Instead, it's met with what Gottman would describe as contempt. He rolls his eyes and throws his controller.
Fine, I'll help you do the damn dishes.
According to Gottman's research, the ratio of positive to negative interactions in stable relationships is 5-1. In other words, you need to have 5 positive interactions to offset that one negative interaction. Therefore, it's important to have positive affect in times of conflict and everyday life to offset any negative interactions. Escalation of negative affect in the relationship often leads to dysfunctional behaviors such as criticism, defensiveness, contempt, and stonewalling, also known as the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, which research has shown to be a predictor of divorce.
It'd be nice if you did things that I asked. It would be even nicer if you did things without me having to ask.
Well, I do seem to remember doing something for you this morning without you asking.
Gary tried a repair attempt. This can be defined as any statement or action, verbal, physical, or otherwise, meant to diffuse negativity and keep a conflict from escalating out of control. Research shows the success or failure of a couple's repair attempts is a primary factor in whether a marriage is likely to flourish or flounder. We see him trying to show some affection. He tried to make a joke and try to smooth over the fight, but this is not successful because Brooke has been stewing in feelings of frustrations all evening, and I'm going to guess that this is not the first time she's felt this way. However, Brooke could have accepted or acknowledged the repair attempt, and that would have ended the fight right there. This would have allowed them to discuss the issues calmly and constructively. Now, it's possible that they might have discussed this before and nothing's changed. It's important for couples to develop effective tools to resolve the conflict and to get past it as quickly as possible so couples can get back to staying connected. These efforts don't always come natural to us, and that's why going to couples counseling is critical. Unfortunately, couples typically wait until there's a huge crisis before seeking help, and by that time, it could be difficult to save the relationship, as prolonged conflict and waiting to get help can reach a point of no return.
It's not about the lemons, it's not about the flowers, it's not about the dishes. It's just, how many times do I have to drop hints about the ballet?
Brooke is talking about separate issues that also bother her. This often happens in fights as our line of communication breaks down and we start escalating the conflict as a way to prove to our spouses that we're right. This scene, in my opinion, best represents real fights that couples have in everyday life. I've seen couples fight over when is the proper time to put in laundry soap. Do you do it before or after you add the clothes? Or fighting over not switching out the empty roll of toilet paper. These types of fights usually mask the deeper issues of the conflict, and it's easier to get angry over laundry etiquettes than it is to express our more vulnerable feelings.
How do you show up for me?
I'm up on the bus every goddamn day for you.
Come on.
It's possible that he knows she's right, and he can't think of a way that he shows up for her.
I'm busting my ass to be the best tour guide in the damn city so I can make enough money to support both of us.
Another thing that concerns me is that it sounds like they have different expectations of the future together. He expects to be successful so she doesn't have to go to work, and she's telling him that she likes working. Plus, she works and she still shows up for him, so what exactly is his excuse? One of those things that I will say about those traditional gender roles is that it doesn't make anyone happy, and it can prevent couples from experiencing intimacy.
I just get 20 minutes to relax when I come home instead of being attacked with questions and nagged the whole damn time.
You think that I nag you?
It's perfectly fine if he wants some alone time when he gets home from work, and it's fine if she wants him to help. How it's communicated is key. In this case, Gary could have said something like, "You're right, I should be more involved in helping you around the house and helping you. I just really need some time to relax and unwind when I get home from work, and I would appreciate about 20 minutes so I can rest before I can help you. Would that be okay?" And Brooke could have said something like, "I'm feeling really stressed and overwhelmed. I'm really tired from work today and cooking and cleaning for the dinner. I would appreciate it if you were able to help me with the dishes so I can relax as well." This is a much more functional way of communicating, and it allows each person to express their feelings and needs in a way for the other person to understand them, and it leaves room for them to find a solution together. For example, they can host a dinner party on their days off, or they could book a reservation at a restaurant so they don't have to clean.
All you do is nag me. The bathroom's a mess. Your belt doesn't match. Hey, Gary, you should probably go work out.
This is a perfect example of the demand-withdraw pattern, which is common in couples. Typically, in times of difficulties, women are more likely to want changes than men. Demand behaviors can be described as pressuring partners for change or nagging, and the withdrawal behaviors are seen as avoiding the topic or denying the problem.
Nothing I ever do is ever good enough. I just want to be left the hell alone.
Gary also said that he feels that nothing he does is good enough. This would have been a good topic to explore further when they're not in such a heightened state of emotion.
That's what you want?
Yeah.
Fine, great, do whatever the hell you want. I'm done! I don't deserve this!
Studies have shown that in dating relationships and in marriages, women are more likely to end the relationship due to dissatisfaction compared to men. In this case, in the heat of the moment, Brooke calls it quits and honors Gary's wishes of wanting to be left alone. Ultimately, both parties are feeling unappreciated and hurt, and as a result, the fight escalates into the breakup, which I don't believe either one of them wanted. They both begin a series of passive-aggressive tactics as a way to provoke the other. Gary acts out and tries to prove he's fine with the breakup by buying a pool table, trashing the condo, and hosts a strip poker event. Meanwhile, Brooke has Gary kicked off their couples bowling team and starts dating other men in an attempt to make Gary jealous. Brooke wants to prove to Gary that his life is better with her.
He's got some changes to make, and he's gonna come home and apologize.
And hopes he'll realize what he's lost in order to apologize and make changes in order to make the relationship work.
His life is just falling apart piece by piece. And maybe that life was pretty great. And maybe I was the glue that was holding it all together. And if he wants that life back, he's gonna have no choice but to change.
Of course, this would never work in real life, and the two of them start drifting further and further apart. What are your thoughts on how Brooke and Gary handled the breakup? Let me know in the comments below. Brooke invites Gary to a concert, hoping that he'll read between the lines and realize the gesture is meant as an attempt to salvage their relationship, only to have him stand her up. This breaks her heart and causes her more pain as she's reminded of Gary's selfishness, and this being the reason why she initiated the breakup in the first place.
I just want him to care enough about this relationship to want to work on it.
Brooke shows a more vulnerable side to Gary, and he finally understands how much he's hurt her and how much she actually loved him and wanted to fix the relationship.
Our entire relationship, I've gone above and beyond for you.
The other possibility is that the relational dynamics are the overfunctioner and the underfunctioner, which happens when a relationship becomes more dysfunctional. Both parties contribute to this dynamic, and it appears that Brooke is the overfunctioner who plays more of a parent role.
I've picked your shit up off the floor. I've laid your clothes out for you like you were a 4-year-old.
And Gary takes the role as the underfunctioner or the man-boy role.
Get some, get some, get some. And clean the dishes tomorrow.
You know, I don't like waking up to a dirty kitchen.
Who cares?
He's more carefree, he's selfish in his ways, and he wants to focus on having fun. The other thing to keep in mind is that these dynamics usually show up at the beginning of the relationship. So it's possible that Gary has tried to help Brooke in the past, but maybe she tried to be nice by saying she doesn't need help, or maybe she told him that he's not doing things right and she could do it herself. And Gary has learned that it's best that he doesn't help at all and that he can't do anything right. Fast forward a few years, the overfunctioner is complaining that the underfunctioner isn't helping at all. What they need to realize is that they're both responsible for contributing to this dynamic, which naturally will cause strain on their relationship. It's normal for people to be attracted to people who have complementary characteristics, but when there's conflict that arises in the relationship, these characteristics become more polarized, and it's harder for the couple to work together as a team.
Just show me that you care.
Why didn't you just say that to me?
It's important to remember that our partners can't read our minds, and that's why explicitly expressing how we're feeling using I statements and making clear requests so our partners know exactly what is needed and expected.
It's her fault she got hurt. You shouldn't even feel bad about it. She should have expected it from you.
Gary's friend points out that he's always had his guard up, and that he's been guilty of putting his wants and needs before others.
That poor girl never stood a chance.
This feedback helps Gary understand that he does have selfish ways. Gary tries to show Brooke that he's changed by making a grand gesture and finally opening up and sharing his feelings.
I love you. I'm sorry.
I really wish that he was able to say this during the evening of the huge fight. Imagine he said this instead of,
I just want to be left the hell alone.
Unfortunately, too much has happened and there's been so much hurt that Brooke turns him down, solidifying their breakup and closing the doors for any possible reconciliation. There's two sides to every breakup, and recognizing and taking responsibility for your roles is an important opportunity to grow as a person, and that's what we see for both of these characters.
There's 1,000 things I would have done differently.
Me too.
This is really common in breakups when we start thinking about what we could have done differently in order to make the relationship work. And I think that it's important to learn from our past and to understand our roles, but not get to the point where we are dwelling or blaming ourselves, because that's where we can get stuck in the breakup recovery process. After some time has passed, they meet again by chance on the street. They are friendly with each other, and we see that they still share a connection, leaving an impression that they can possibly get back together. If they were to get back together, there needs to be work from both sides, in order to make the relationship successful. Many times, we expect that by getting back together with an ex, all of our previous problems from the past would get magically solved. This is rarely the case, and this is why it's important to seek help from a licensed couples counselor. A lot of the times when we get back together with our ex, everything seems perfect in the beginning, but over time, the same problems will arise because they were never really resolved. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more relationship analysis videos. If you have any movies you'd like me to analyze, drop them in the comments below and I'll definitely check them out. In the meantime, check out my other relationship analysis videos and I'll see you in the next one.